Section 3132, Example 2. A. The odds of winning a contest are 5 to 9. What is the probability of winning the contest? So we are started or given 5 to 9 as the odds of winning. That means we have a ratio comparing our favorable outcomes to our unfavorable outcomes. We are looking for the probability of winning. So we want the fraction of favorable outcomes divided by our total outcomes. We have our favorable outcomes. That is 5. We need to find the total outcomes. The total outcomes can be found by adding together our favorable outcomes with our unfavorable outcomes. 5 plus 9, so that gives us 14 total outcomes. Our favorable outcomes is 5, the total is 14, therefore the probability of winning is 5 to 14. Part B. The probability of you passing the next math test is 75%. What are the odds of you passing? So we are given the probability as 75%. We can write that as 75 over 100, written as a fraction. Probability we know is the favorable outcomes divided by our total. We are looking for the odds of passing. So we are looking for our favorable outcomes, which is that we pass the next math test, to our unfavorable outcomes, which means we do not pass the math test. We have our favorable outcomes is 75. We now need the unfavorable outcomes. This time, to find our unfavorable outcomes, we are going to take our total outcomes and subtract our favorable outcomes. 100 subtract 75 is 25. So putting our unfavorable outcomes here of 25, we have a ratio of 75 to 25. However, any ratio and fractions must be written in lowest terms. So both of those have a common factor of 25. We can rewrite this odds of passing as 3 to 1. Example C. A jar contains 3 red marbles and some green ones. The odds are 3 to 1 that a randomly chosen marble is green. So this time we are given the odds in favor of being green. Our odds is the formula favorable to unfavorable. And we are given that ratio of 3 to 1. So this is representing the number of green marbles, which means our unfavorable outcomes are the red marbles. Right now we have the red marbles being 1, but we are told that there are 3 red marbles. So this ratio must have been reduced. So if I multiply this by 3 and multiply this by 3, we end up with 9 to 3. 9 is the number of green marbles to the number of red marbles. The question was, how many green marbles are in the jar? There are 9. 9 green marbles. So what we just have here is an example of each type. As a summary, note, all odds and probability calculations begin with 2 or 3 values. either the total possibilities, favorable outcomes, and non-favorable outcomes. And we have to then determine the third. So in general, if the odds in favor of an event is A to B, or in other words, favorable to unfavorable, then the total number of possibilities is A plus B. So again, our total number of outcomes is our favorable plus our unfavorable outcomes. Therefore, the probability of an event occurring is A to A plus B, or in other words, favorable to total. The odds against an event occurring is B to A, or in other words, unfavorable to favorable. And the probability of an event not happening is our unfavorable to the total.